From the streets to the studio, from crisis to recovery, from awareness to action. Ask the Messengers. We bring you real talk about public health, addiction and recovery, and the issues that matter most in our communities. The message is hope. The message is change. Ask the Messengers begins now. Today on Ask the Messengers, in our coverage around town segment, Chief Public Health Officer Denise Razo and the City of Detroit's Deputy Mayor Melia Howard share information with our field reporter Che Monet about the launch of harm reduction wellness stations that are now available at various locations around the City of Detroit. Also in this segment, community leaders share exciting news about the completion of major improvements to Milan Park, located in Northwest Detroit near Ralph Waldo Emerson Elementary School. Plus, The Journey to Self-Love, written by Natisha Fauntleroy, is featured in our author series with Kimberly E. Mallory. And rounding out today's episode, information about autism in recognition of Autism Awareness Month.
Hi, everybody. You guys already know we are a TV show for the community. I am here with Miss Denise Vera. She is with the health department, and we're here standing in front of something glorious, a change. Tell our viewers about this change.
Today, we are launching Detroit's harm reduction wellness stations. You will be seeing these large stations all across the city of Detroit, as well as our tabletop stands and our newsstands. We're offering free Narcan and other harm reduction wellness stations. This is the right thing to do. And in our city, we are facing an opioid epidemic, and it's time for us to step up and really make sure that our residents have the opportunity to thrive. So this is one of our harm reduction wellness stations. We have free Narcan, we have fentanyl test strips, pregnancy kits, we have condoms, Plan B. And again, this is something for our community, and the time is now.
This is amazingly innovative. The fact that they don't have to call a number to help people, the fact that you can just come to these different places. And how many are there?
So there are 25 stations across the city. Our goal is to get to 50, but we're starting right now at 25. And so far, it's been successful. We want to meet people right where they are. Of course, we don't want them to have to call a number. If somebody needs access, we don't want them to have to wait. So we want people to take advantage of this life-saving opportunity, and we're really proud of what we're doing.
There are so many companies like D-Win that recognize the importance of Narcan, but the fact that saving lives does sometimes take money. It takes a lot of money to produce something like this to give out to the community for free. What does it mean to you to have the city and all these people recognize the importance of this right now?
Well, it means so much. It really does, because people are dying. Our friends, our families. And we've said today, no more. We're no longer going to suffer in silence. We're no longer going to push people away. We are going to make sure that our Detroiters have access. This is free, and it's available right now.
I just want to say thank you on behalf of Detroiters. I mean, obviously, East Side. I was talking to Deputy Mayor Melia Howard, and she's from the East Side as well. There are so many things that we've seen growing up where this could have changed lives. And right now, the creation of this, about how many lives, I know you were giving us numbers, how many people have been affected by Narcan, just the average number.
Oh my goodness. Just in 2025, we've heard from our EMS that they have utilized Narcan about 150 times already. And those are lives that have been prevented due to Narcan. So this is, again, another life-saving opportunity, and we're really glad that we are partnering with our city departments. And also, we could not have done this without the opioid settlement dollars. This is being funded $250,000 to help support this effort. So we're really glad that our mayor, our deputy mayor have been really supported in leading this effort.
What does this mean for the community, these wellness stations?
Oh, no, this is incredible. So now, so many people in our community, past, present, have gone through this situation of substance abuse, be it alcohol, obviously narcotics.
Yes.
This is critical for us in this community. Like I said, I've had a lot of family members who have had substance abuse issues. Some are still here, some are no longer with us because they didn't have access to these medications. And the treatment, because it was so stigmatized back in the day, right?
Yes.
But now it's a thing. It's a health crisis, it's an issue. And now people can get real treatment and real medication. And that's what's important. So we have to be able in a community to support my neighbor, right? Or to support my cousin, and no shame. And if I have this in my car and we're at, let's say, the family picnic, and somebody having a problem, or at the restaurant, or if you're driving down the street and you see something wrong, you can have the capacity to stop, assess, call 911. And if you feel that they're in a situation with substance abuse and that they are overdosing, you have it in your car and it's available, and you can provide aid and assistance at that time, because you just never know.
Right.
You never know where you're going to be and when something's going to happen. So that, to me, being prepared is critical.
I love the fact that they talked about today that people stigmatize. They think that, you can tell or you can see someone that's, I guess they stigmatize a drug overdose or a user, when that's not the case at all. That's not the case at all. They don't look a certain way. They're not poor.
They're not anybody and everybody. I don't care what you look like, how old you are, where you come from. Substance abuse it's an epidemic. And it does not matter. You cannot tell somebody uses drugs or doesn't use drugs. You cannot tell. And so you never could tell, right?
No,
so that's a whole nother story, right? That's a whole nother story. You never could tell. But in saying all of that, us being open and honest with who we are and where we are,
Right.
and being able to provide these services is critical.
Thank you so much. I mean, obviously they're canceling the crisis for housing. So much that the mayor's office is doing. I just want to say thank you on behalf of the citizens. You know what I mean? Taxes. Now we're here, right here at the heart of it, right here at these centers. Thank you so much. Are here at a lovely green space. I have Miss Cindy and Miss Crystal. Miss Cindy, tell our viewers at Ask the Messengers what this park means to the neighborhood, what it means to you.
This park is an amazing park. I mean, it's just an incredible green space. It's open, and now it's even more inviting with all of the improvements that we collaborated on to bring people into the park and give people lots of things to do in the park. It's good for physical health benefits, mental well-being,
Right.
social benefits, and environmental benefits.
Yes. Now, obviously, you were the speaker here. You kind of spearheaded this. You're in the middle, and you got to work closely with the actual principal of the school for DPS. So tell our viewers a little bit about that.
So I think that's awesome. What we like to do is include not just the principal, but the students too, right? Because this is for them, it's for the community. Before this was just an open space. Open spaces are great. Open green spaces are great. But when you have children involved and this is a dense area, this neighborhood, as you see houses here that are, occupied. You see people out walking around. So I know that these amenities will be used here. And not just the amenities, but just to have the green space with the trees that's cleaning the air. We know that a lot of Detroiters, especially young children, suffer from asthma. Mm-hmm. And that's one thing that removing the tree, removing the impurities out the air will help with.
You know what I found interesting? I'm standing here, I'm listening to you guys talk about the park, and I'm actually learning. She began to talk about science and measurements. 35,000 cubic. I mean, the space is being cleaned by the grass and the trees. And a lot of viewers don't know, a lot of people don't know what grass and trees means for their health. What can you tell our viewers about that?
So the environmental benefits of parks are pretty amazing. And there's so many wonderful stories about, memories being made here.
Yes.
There's great, people laugh, people run, people, enjoy. But we also wanted to communicate the environmental benefits. So we created Project Evergreen created a clean air calculator. So
did you know that? I was like, wait a minute,
so
I heard numbers.
I'll give you those numbers again. I have my paper here in front of me. But so the grass and trees at Milan Park sequesters more than 351,000 pounds of carbon annually and produces 530,000 cubic yards of clean air.
And
That's amazing. And I think to put it in layman's perspective, what you said earlier was that's like removing 45 cars from the area. And I would say running cars, right? Because that's what's producing the emissions, the carbon in the air. That's not good for our health. And so having the green amenities here in this space, because trees are amenities, right, helps with the health of this neighborhood.
I just want to say thank you so much for what you're doing for the kids, the environment. I mean, it's just so many people working together. It takes teamwork. Like people say it all the time, it takes a village. Well, it takes people actively working. You know what I mean?
Yes,
And this is
absolutely.
not just to change sedentary behavior, it's to change the air. So thank you for helping our environment. Detroit is just getting better.
Yes,
It's just getting better and better.
absolutely. One park, one tree,
Listen,
one child at a time.
let me tell you, let's say that together. You guys ready?
Yeah.
One park, one tree, one child. You ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. One park, one tree, one child at a time. You are a pillar in this community. You're with the Gilbert Foundation now,
Yes.
formerly with
Detroit Parks and Recreation.
So it's always been in your heart to do this, in your skills. What does this park mean for the community, for the Gilbert Foundation in general?
Yeah, so when we first arrived, knowing that the amenities here were outdated,
Mhm.
and knowing that we have a school behind us where the kids would come out and play, it was just really important for us to look at this and say, hey, what could we do to upgrade the amenities and provide world-class structures for the kids in the community that come out here day in and day out to use it.
And this is amazing. The fact that there's a Detroit public school in the background here, they get to actually enjoy the environment as well. We
Absolutely.
talked about the carbon dioxide.
Yes.
I mean, what going forward? What's next? Obviously, the Gilbert Foundation, they have their hand here to try to help the community.
Absolutely. So, yeah, we've been working since my transition from the city of Detroit to the foundation. I've worked hand in hand with my former crew over at GSD for the last 5+ years. And throughout all, we've done almost 10 parks together. And on top of that, and then on top of that, we have several other projects in the making. So we have one right now with GSD, Stoudemire Park on the far east side, and then we're supporting with Elmwood Central. And so for us is looking at the city's 10-year strategic plan around development of public spaces and parks and working together to figure out how we can revitalize a lot of these spaces that are outdated in the city of Detroit.
It's so exciting. Thank you so much for what you guys do in the community. Obviously, a lot of people, a lot of our viewers out there at Ask the Messengers TV show, you may not know that the Gilbert Foundation is here to help our community. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having us. And not only do we redevelop public spaces, but we also provide support for programming in the public spaces as well. So we do a lot of programming. Greening is actually one of our also grantees as well. And then we also work with Green Living Science and a bunch of other entities and nonprofits in the city of Detroit to provide unbelievable programs within. So
They don't just stop at renovations. They provide other things and resources. So you stay there and you help and you cultivate. Thank you so much. We appreciate you.
thank you guys.
So what does this mean, Milan Park, for the community? We're here in District 1. You're here,
Yes,
obviously, as a liaison to represent. So how are you feeling? What does this mean?
I mean it's a tremendous feeling, to be in a district in an environment space that represents something beautiful,
Right.
represent life. As she spoke about, trees take in our carbon dioxide and the grass
Right.
gives out oxygen. So it actually is a green space, and it just allows you to be in a comfort. When you see something that's beautiful, vibrant, and the transition from what it was to what it is and what
Right.
it can be, it just makes you feel good knowing that the children have an actual space they can come in and occupy, they can walk through, they can play, and they can just enjoy themselves. Families can come out here.
Right.
It's just a total community partnership, and it's just something that's wonderful that you can't think too much about it.
Tell our viewers the council member you're representing here.
I am representing Council President Pro Tem James Tate. District
Yes,
1,
yes,
you know what I'm saying?
yes.
District 1, you in the
Yes.
number 1 district right here.
Bullying isn't just words, it leaves scars.
One act of kindness can change everything.
Stand up. Speak out. Be kind.
Stop bullying.
an amazing author with me today. Natisha Fauntleroy has written a book, and it is called The Journey to Self-Love. And this book is so amazing. I got a chance to really read this book. And it is a journey to self-love. A lot of times people don't even really know how to love themselves. I'm one of them. But she has a journey. She has a journey to self-love to teach you how to do it. Natisha, welcome to the show. How are you?
I am good. Thank you, Miss Mallory. Thank you for having me.
There was a chapter in your book that really caught my attention, chapter 4. And what you did was you made some steps. Can you tell us a little bit about those steps?
Well, while working in drug and alcohol addiction and inpatient, there are the 12 steps of alcohol addiction and 12 steps, NA and AA. So it's a 12-step method. So I did learn about the methods in school, but then I also would have to go through the step and do step work with the ladies when I was an inpatient, working with the ladies on the unit that were inpatient. So as I was working with them, I said then, like, I need to do this on myself with self-love. Like, I need to do this because I kept getting into these crazy toxic relationships, romantic relationships with men. And then I started noticing in some of my friendships, like at some point in my life, I was just giving everything I had. Like when I love hard, and I'm a giver. I love to give. I like to help people. So it was like, I just felt like I was just giving in multiple areas of my life. And I wasn't giving anything back. And I had to really do something hard and look at myself, not the people that I was giving to, but myself, to see like what role I played in this. Why does this keep happening to me? Like, what is going on? So,
right. Wow, that's good that you're taking some personal inventory of yourself. A lot of people run from taking personal inventory because they don't really want to see a side of them. Everything is not bad about a person. You can look at the pros about yourself as well as the cons about yourself, kind of even them out so that you won't get depressed looking at everything that's wrong with yourself, or you won't get boastful and start bragging because now you're looking at everything that's doing so good in your life. You have to have a balance. Look at both sides of your life because that helps you to grow. That helps you to become who it is. Now, as you were writing this, and let me just say this, audience, this young lady has written more than one book, okay? This was the book that I picked to choose to, talk about. But she has several books. And because, the time that, we have here, we don't have time to go through all those books. But to you, I wanted to say kudos to your continually writing, and helping people, because that's what, your books are about. Now, in this book, The Journey to Self-Love,
yes.
is there anything that you would like to tell the audience that's in your book?
I would like to caution them because I ran into not an issue, but an unexpected situation. A young lady, or older lady, I should say, that was attending church with me. She told me she couldn't read my book. She bought my book, multiple books. She bought the first one and the second one. But she was unable to read that one. And the reason she was unable to read it because it was very triggering for her. When she opened the book and looked at the book, it was telling of her life because, it speaks on, domestic violence, abortion, things like that, like basically like the bad and ugly of my life, and then how God helped me and delivered me. So I just wanted to fair warning if, anyone that wants to purchase the book, if they feel like those things will be triggering for them, fair warning, I'm going to speak on domestic violence in the book. I'm going to speak on abortion in the book. Is a section in there for you to dedicate your life to Christ. Like, I'm a born again, blood washed believer of Jesus Christ. So, for someone who is against Christianity or just oh, it's too religious or churchy, fair warning. Here it is.
And I understand that because, just like I said, because I just made a movie out of my book. And, it was at the theaters and now it's streaming on Tubi and it's called Silent Screen. And I understand that some of the comments that I get, your book, my movie, it's not for everybody.
Right.
But who it's meant for, it will help. And although it may be triggering, it could also be a healing mechanism. Natisha, what I would like for you to do, please, look directly in the camera.
Okay.
And give someone some words of encouragement.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I want to say to you, whether you want to become an author or not, or you have another like business idea that you want to do for God, like God put it in you for you to do, understand that, as Miss Mallory said, who is for you will be for you. In this journey, when you start growing in the Lord and you start breaking away from who you used to be and things you used to do, and growth is not glamorous. Like it hurts. Like it hurts, it's uncomfortable, but it's doable. Know that.
Yes.
It could be lonely, but know that God is always with you. And know that while it might seem like nothing is happening, He is working behind the scenes and He is with you and He will bring it to pass. He will bring it to pass. What is for you will be for you.
Bullying isn't just words, it leaves scars.
One act of kindness can change everything.
Stand up. Speak out. Be kind.
Stop bullying.
Approximately 1 child in every 100 is diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder, or ASD. People with autism face challenges in 3 main areas: communication, social interaction, and behavior. It doesn't matter what color your skin is, or where you live, or whether you're rich or poor, autism doesn't discriminate, although boys are around 4 times more likely to be diagnosed than girls. It also affects millions of other people, like the friends and families of people with autism.
Would you like to help us save lives? You can do so by partnering with us here at Ask the Messengers by making a donation of any amount. The people in your communities need your support. Help us extend our reach and impact more lives. Supporting our organization is as easy as a click of a button. Just visit our site shown on the screen from your phone or computer where you will see a yellow donation button. Ask the Messengers is waiting on your partnership, and your community is waiting on you.
If you prefer mailing your donations, send your check or money order payable to Ask the Messengers TV show and send it to 18400 Schaefer Highway, Detroit, Michigan 48235. Well, that concludes this week's episode of Ask the Messengers, and we're asking you to take a moment to subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Thank you to our guests today, and we hope the information shared will be of some help to you, your family, and your community. Thank you for tuning in. Until next time, stay strong, stay kind, and keep standing for what's right. See you next time, right here on Ask the Messengers.